Hey everybody, what's up? We are here with a timeless reading. Welcome. The first card that we have out is Two of Swords, and we have Two of Cups. And the Fool. This looks like you're figuring out whether you're down for an adventure or not. This can be something where there's self-discovery involved. For some of you, this can be about doing something with another person too. It feels like So I see Two of Cups as being your relationship with yourself, and it can also be a relationship with another person. So just keep that in mind when we talk about the Two of Cups. Two of Swords feels like choice has not been made yet. So Two of Cups focuses on that relationship with self / relationship with another person. Having the Fool there feels like, are you going to take the chance? Are you going to sort of enter that territory? Are you going to explore that? What are you going to do? And if you choose to do that, it can mean too, like, not really knowing what's going to happen. I get the feeling of really seizing the day here. Six of Swords feels like a moving forward that's happening. Kind of like something has been figured out and now things can move forward. And then I'm seeing Knight of Swords, which is really about like moving through things, gonna see what'll happen. Knight of Swords is that I'm gonna go into this and then see what happens from there. It's from a place of action. And then I'm also seeing Six of Wands, which having Six of Wands connected with Knight of Swords feels like when I show up and I take action and I do something, it is successful in this instance. So this feels like moving forward to do something and there being success connected with that. So whatever this is that the Knight of Swords is meaning to do, it goes well. So Knight of Swords is going to be making a move, and then having Six of Wands shows the move goes well. That doesn't mean it's easy though. Successful, but not easy. Working with what you want on a deep level. I feel like something is actually like going pretty well here. I want to move some things over first. Let's put this over here. Maybe you were wondering if you were going to take a risk at all in the first place. Then it feels like being like, okay, I'm going to do it. I don't want to actually reduce that just to something that you see as being a risk. You decide to do something that can feel like a chancy thing to be doing, but doing it anyway. And this feels like, okay, yes, this is what's going to be happening. Let me move forward. So it feels like moving forward on this, like progressing on this. Okay. And then feeling like efforts have proved successful. Now, moving over to the next part of the reading. We don't necessarily know what exactly is going to happen, but what I am seeing is that it feels like some period of in-between is now over. Feels like something that was like, is it going to go this way? Is it going to go that way? It feels like this has concluded now. I'm getting confirmation of this. So there's no more of that feeling of something sort of being on the fence. There is decisiveness now. That period of this way or that way is now over. And now moving on from that too, of like not being stuck anymore in that place of indecision. It feels also like there is an opening up to newness, opening up to expansion. And I think a big part of this too is like opening your mind and that being part. Because if that wasn't here, it feels like saying, no, I'm not open to that. This feels like I'm open to that and I'm willing to work with it and I'm willing to grow and I'm willing to learn and I'm willing to just open my mind in general, have my mind opened. I'm receptive to that. And whatever is going to sort of manifest down that pathway, whatever is going to unfold, I want to be here. I feel like there's a solidness within this too. Like this is actively being chosen. Even though this is something that you want, I'm not seeing it, I'm seeing there be challenges to it, and I'm seeing there be, it can feel like this entails a lot. It requires a lot of energy on your end. And you can feel too like you have to undergo intensities to be part of this process. I'm also seeing moves be made on behalf of sentimentality as well, and that being part of it. It feels like going back into a place that feels reminiscent of something that you've experienced and actually successfully like creating that this is, it's like a familiar feeling being recreated. This is something that would feel comforting. But there could, when we have that Two of Swords there, it's like needing to make the choice of, do I want this or do I not want this? And I think taking action, even though it can feel like, wow, this is a lot to be doing, can just feel kind of overwhelming. And then knowing that you're doing something where there is a lot of intensity involved and then still doing it, because it feels very much like, yeah, this is a lot, and also this is what I'm doing. It feels like making up one's mind to be doing that. Moving through this with a sentimentality feels like that's what helps this. Like there has to be an opening emotionally in order for, I feel like, this to fall into place, because if that wasn't there, it feels like this is actually a main motivator for a lot of the moves that are being made. And so if the heart is not open, it feels like there won't be that fuel to sort of move things forward. And so I'm seeing that actually play a very key role here. And there also being hope involved as well. It's like connecting with something that feels supportive and feels like a base and feels like an anchor, so that if we have to do something that requires a lot of energy, that is motivating. So you feel like, I can take this on because of something going on an internal level that is really motivating to take on something that can feel like a lot. And this coming back to making a choice about like whether or not this is something that you want to involve yourself with fully, like to fully be present to this, to fully engage. And saying too, like, I want this to be, this belongs together, or it can be like we belong together, kind of that feeling where there will be a, I'm choosing myself here in this moment. And that can also be reflective of like something that you're choosing or someone that you are choosing too. And then feeling like that period of indecision has now been clarified, and now this is what's going to be happening. And even though there is a moving forward, it feels like, in a way, almost moving back into something. But it feels progressive. This doesn't feel like I'm going back into something I've experienced before. This feels like I'm moving forward into something that feels familiar to me, but I haven't technically experienced this before. And so there's an openness, because it feels too like different things are going to be being learned. And even though you can look at this and say, like, it may be a bit of a risk for me to get myself involved in this, at the same time, you can sort of, what this comes to when we have the Fool is feeling like whether or not your mind is open to this, and what stuff, like new information and new concepts and new understandings can be gained. So it's not going to be the same. So this will be a new experience in itself, even though it doesn't feel totally, completely, absolutely like unfamiliar ingredients. But I do see things are going to be added in. It's kind of like going into something that may be like not the most foreign environment for you to be in, but actually you're going into it with your mind sort of open, your mind and your heart opened in a different way. And so you're actually going to learn different things. You're going to learn new things. You're going to take new things in. So it's almost as if it is a new or different environment that you're entering into. Part of the reason why there wasn't, when choice is presented, it feels like part of the reason why there wasn't an immediate answer, it feels like it's connected with history and possibly like not wanting to be burned if the same thing were to repeat itself. Because I get this feeling of going through things that have been painful, and that potentially being like, well, if I choose this, there is potential that like pain could happen. And I think the maybe being put off by that could have been a contender for a choice that would be being made, but then being like, am I going to make my choice off of that, or am I going to be open to something that I'm curious about exploring? And those are the things that were being weighed. So yeah, that could have what you've experienced before could have really been a factor in this. And then saying, is that what I want to base my decision off of? And then saying like, no, I want to try this. I want to go in here and I want to see what's going to happen. And then that be the direction that things are going in. And it feels like really allowing things to work out. And this feels too like you're really opening yourself up. You're opening your heart. You're opening your mind and allowing for things to be new, for change, for things to be different. Like it doesn't have to be the same thing. But allowing yourself to enter into a situation to actually experience that can be the case. Like you have to be open to it in order to get that experience out of something. Like you can know things are possibilities, but until you actually give something a chance to be different, you don't really see that yourself. And now it feels like giving this a chance to actually do that, to be that. I'm going to see if there's anything else. Seeing things moving into a good place. Taking action on what you want, being willing. It can feel overwhelming, but this is what you want to do, and so you're willing to do that. I do really feel like this allows for a feeling of moving forward now. And I think that it also reflects to you how open you are as well. How you're being open-minded with this, which is a really key aspect of allowing something to unfold in an unpredictable way. So it's not just going to be the same old thing happening. This feels like you're going to find yourself in a different situation, in a different circumstance, in certain ways. And that it allows for the change, it allows for the growth, it allows for something different. And working through the hard times as well, because I'm seeing this feels like you've been through things that you could have decided to shut down because of that, and maybe even for a time that was what was happening, and then you have this sort of presenting itself and you're like, am I still going to do that, or am I going to open myself up? And in the opening up, that's really where you see things happen, amazing things happen. And so that's where we are. All right, my friends, we are going to leave the reading here. I would like to thank everyone for connecting. Thank you for tuning in. I'm sending everybody love, and I hope to catch you guys next time.